All right, in this video, I'm going to talk about a real estate deal that I bought and sold in Rockland County, New York. So if you are new to the channel, if you're new to my social media, welcome. My name is Greg Helbeck. I've bought and sold well over 100 houses. And my goal on these videos is to make, to basically be as valuable as possible, share real life deals, because a lot of people who are talking about real estate aren't doing a lot of real estate. So hopefully you get some lessons from today's video that you're going to learn from a real deal that I did, and you can use that in your business to grow. So if you do get value from this video, if you're watching this on social media, if you can like it and comment. If you're watching this on YouTube, if you can like the video and subscribe. The goal is to get to 1,000 subscribers in the next 90 days, and I need your help doing that. So if you do get value, if you could subscribe. So today's property, the address is 164 Richard Court. Once again, that's 164 Richard Court, Pomona, New York. I don't know the zip code. Long story short, seller called me off a direct mail campaign, and he wanted to sell a house. He had a non-paying tenant in there. He inherited the house from his mother, and he just did not want to deal with this bullshit. And in New York, it is a complete cesspool when it comes to dealing with bad tenants. So he said, if you're willing to buy the property with a bad tenant in place, he's willing to give me a good deal. Turns out that he was shopping my offer around to another investor who happens to be one of my good friends, Rich Pace. So I actually got wind of this, called up Rich, and he said, yeah, I got the same lead. You know, he wants to sell the property. So I said, why don't we just team up together on this deal? And let's do it together. Let's JV and put the odds in our favor that he's going to sell one of us the property. And either way, we'll partner up on it and do the deal. So we ended up agreeing to do that. We ended up getting the property, I believe, for $115,000, if my memory serves me correct. And we went in there with a hard money loan, and we took out a loan for, I think, $100,000, I believe. I think it was about $100,000 we borrowed. Property's worth like $200 fixed up, and it was worth probably about like $180 as is. So, you know, still had a pretty good margin there. So long story short, we bought the property, never saw the thing, never walked it, complete sight unseen deal. And once we took possession of the property, we were like, okay, we got to figure out how to get these tenants out. So I immediately started reaching out to the tenants. They did not respond. So here's a little ninja trick here to get someone to respond if they have not responded to you. So reached out to the tenants, and I was like, hey, I'm Greg. Give me a call. We bought the property. Let's talk. You know, I did that, I think 3 or 4 times. So the fifth message, this is, I learned this. I forgot who I learned this from. I think it was actually Rich Pace, the man himself, told me to do this. He said, let the tenant know that you haven't heard from them, so you assume that they're out and you're going to be starting construction on Monday. So I texted the tenant and I said, hey, reached out to you a few times, haven't heard from you. So I'm actually, I guess you're out of the property by now. So we're actually going to start construction on Monday. And literally 5 minutes later, I get a call from the attorney saying, what the fuck's going on? The attorney starts going AWOL on me. Calm your horses, buddy. I bought your client's property. They're not paying rent. The new sheriff is in town. They're getting out of here. How do we make a deal? And long story short, they just totally dragged us through the mud for a while. Their attorney was pretty savvy. These people were pretty savvy. They're straight up. And the tenants, if you're watching this, hey, tenants in 164 Richard Court, if you're watching this video, you heard it from me. You are a bottom feeder, and it's people like you who make the landlord business a bad business and have this bad connotation. So screw you, tenant. And you heard this on the record from me. So I have no regret saying that, because they are a scumbag, and I hope they heard that. Anyway, I'll get off my soapbox now. So was going absolutely nowhere with the tenant. COVID is still going on. The moratorium is still going on. We kind of know we're gridlocked. And now I'm like, all right, well, we got to do something, and we got to make them an offer. So we made that. I think we made them $10,000. We offered them $10,000 to get the fuck out. They said no. They wanted like 20. We said take a hike. And we were about to hire an eviction attorney at this point. We were about to sign the retainer with an absolute bulldog in Rockland County. And we got a call randomly. This is where the deal got interesting. I personally got a call randomly from another attorney who said, is this Greg Helbeck? And I said, depends. And he's like, well, I see that you own 164 Richard, and I have a client who wants to make an all-cash offer. And I thought I was either getting sued or it was a scam, because I'm a skeptical person by nature. When you do enough deals, you start to become really thick-skinned to bullshit. So I said, listen, man, I don't know you from a hole in the wall. I said, please introduce yourself. Let me know how this isn't a scam and how you're not going to sue me. And if I know this is not a scam, I might consider an offer. And I was playing my cards close to my chest a little bit. He didn't know that, you know, this was a bullshit show going on here. So he's like, yeah, you know, I have a client from Ohio. They want to make an all-cash offer. They you know, they don't care. And I said, well, here's the deal, dude. They can't see the property. They got to close in 2 weeks or 2.5 weeks, or no, 3 weeks. They have to close in 3 weeks. They can't see the property. And by the way, these tenants haven't paid rent in over a year. They're total scumbags. And you got to basically step right in my shoes. And I'm going to sell the property at a good price too. I'm not going to take a discount, a big discount. And they said, okay. I said, off. I said, I'll sell it to you for 200 grand. Meanwhile, we bought the thing for 115 after closing costs. We're probably in the deal for like 125. I said, okay, no problem. They said, okay, no problem. We think about it. So it calls me back like 2 hours later and says, hey, they'll take it for, I think, 180. I think they said 180. And by the way, I would have sold it for like 175, so don't tell them. Honestly, we would have sold it for 160 to get the fuck out of there. But anyway, they said 180. I called up Rich. He said, yeah, let's do it. I said, okay, we're going to take your offer of 180 and we're going to turn around and you got to close in 3 weeks. You got to use, title. It's got to be fast. No bullshit. Long story short, they ended up buying the property for 180 in cash, legit, worked out to everyone's favor. I think Richie and I walked away with like 45 grand net at the end of the day. We did have to pay a buyer's agent 2%. I don't know where that buyer's agent came from, maybe the bushes near the house. And we ended up walking away with whatever the profit, like 40, 45 grand, something like that. It was a couple months ago, but it ended up working out. And we closed the deal and we bought and sold the house, sight unseen, with a squatter in place, made ourselves a good profit. And here are the lessons learned from a deal like that. So there's a lot of lessons, obviously. The first lesson is when you're competing with people in your market, they're not your competition. They're your collaboration. So instead of trying to fight with other investors and punch them in the head and put them in a headlock and say, fuck you, it's my house, become friends with investors in your market and do deals together. Because if you're both competing for the same property and you agree to like work the deal together, if you agree to do that, no matter who wins the deal, whether it's you or the other person, you're both going to make money. Yeah, you might split the deal, but I'd rather split a deal and make 50% than not split a deal and make 0%. So share the deals with your competition. There's enough deals out there for everyone to do well. So the scarcity mindset that people have is total bullshit. Second lesson from this property, just to keep the video, under 10 minutes, is at the end of the day, sometimes you're going to have bad bounces in the business, and we've had our fair share of bad bounces, but sometimes you're going to have good bounces. And I'll tell you why I believe this happened. Long story short, we were looking at another property to buy in Westchester, and the seller was like flat broke. They had no money. They were absolutely helpless. And I told them, like, honestly, I don't know if it makes sense for me to buy this house because A, you need some serious money to like get in a better position, and B, like the house is really screwed up, so I don't really want it. But I said, I'll tell you what, I will pay for your septic pump out of my own pocket, and you're not obligated to do anything. Like, you don't have to sell me the property, but I'll just personally pay for your septic pump. So I literally shelled out like $600 or something to pay for this person's septic tank. I think they had like $50 in the bank. They were flat broke, paid for the septic, good deed, no strings attached. And, felt good to do that and help the seller out, even though they didn't sell us the house. But literally the day after, got a call from that other buyer who wanted to pay cash for my property. So I ended up making a bunch of money. So the point of that is when you do good deeds without expectation, the universe will always reward you. Don't expect to get rewarded right away. But at the end of the day, if you do a good deed and you help someone out, you're going to be able to, get rewarded after the fact. So that ended up working out in our favor, and it was nice to also help out that other seller. So hopefully you got value from today's lesson from a real deal we bought and sold in Rockland County, New York, which is a brutal place to do deals, super competitive. Sellers there are freaking insane. But hey, when you do deals in Rockland, generally you make a lot of money. So hopefully you got value. If you did get value, if you want a JV, hey, if you want to be like Rich, if you want to be a partner, you want to bring me deals, if you want to wholesale deals together, you want me to buy properties from you or whatever. If you want to do business with me and you're in the Hudson Valley or you're in California or you're in Delaware now, we're starting to buy in Delaware, reach out to me, greg@velocityhousebuyers.com. Once again, that's greg@velocityhousebuyers.com. And if you're watching on YouTube, subscribe to the channel, like the video, and I'll see everyone on the next video. Bye-bye.